Hey, it's the coach. This is the 2020 season on EA Sports. Coming up, the big man, Derrick Henry, fresh off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we are 15 miles due west of the Atlantic, nestled in downtown Jacksonville at TIAA Bank Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback who grew up just outside of Cleveland on Lake Erie, Mitchell Trubisky.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
And no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
Throwing here, Trubisky. And that's complete to Jesse James. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. The numbers for James from last week, 3 catches, 52 yards.
And they think they have a matchup advantage in this one. They're going to try and find some space for him to work and make sure he touches the football.
To throw again on second down, Trubisky. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. A gain of 5, good enough for the first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. This offense has a few playmakers. If they're going to go downfield, they often look the way of Stills.
He loves to run the deep routes, loves to get downfield and make the big catches, and he does it with flair.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. On the toss, here's Michel. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. Well, look now at our starting defense. They are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
They've established themselves pretty well throughout this season. But, boy, what a competitive group of people. They do not like that ranking they have now because they think that they're better, and they're out to prove it again in this game.
And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Houston. Adam Thielen. his first touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
319. Plant. Motion. Box it. Rip right. Flip it down.
They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. He'll have a first down past the 40.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
On first down, Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. And now a look at the offense for Jacksonville.
And I think we'll see a renewed sense of urgency out of this team this week because they have to make sure they don't waste this homestand. They had a home game last week, lost it. Now they got the second straight. They've got to take advantage of it, get a win before they head out on the road.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31. Defensively, here are the starters for Houston. They've certainly had their struggles against the run at the 30th ranked unit out of 32 teams in the NFL.
The numbers are definitely not in their favor, but every time I click on the film and watch them, I see stretches where they play against the run really well. Their biggest problem, when they give up those explosive runs, those 30, 40, 50-yard runs, that'll really mess up your averages.
The 22 is the line to gain here on third down. Now it's Rodgers. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And his bid for the first down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
And the Texans set to come onto the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know, you're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Now Trubisky to throw. That's out to his running back, Michel.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Easy to tell who they're targeting on this drive. He caught the first 2 passes, but then this time unable to hook up.
But I don't think that stops them from continuing to go back to him, do you?
No.
I mean, they've got a plan. They're trying to execute it.
And after that second catch, I saw him in the huddle. He said, hey, let's go back one more time. Didn't work there.
Let's go.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And, Charles, if the season ended today, it's not going to. We still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Back north. Mike 51.
On 2nd and a couple. Rodgers. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Try to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a first down. So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
Out of the gun, Eckler running it. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Hey, take 26.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. That one complete to Hill. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The end result, 21 yards. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 37-yard line. Derrick Henry looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rodgers gets this one to Hill. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And able to find Conley. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the first. A first down carry for Henry. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 20-yard line.
This is Henry. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Bring it. 258. Go, go, go.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. They complete it to Hill. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Rodgers now to throw. Flush to his right. It's Hill, complete. 7 yards there and a first down.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. But it'll be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Rodgers again now. And he's got it. It's Thomas for a Jacksonville touchdown. Michael Thomas, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Adam Thielen, he gets set to go again with the rest of this offense. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. They try and run on first down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On second down, Michelle. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds, back near their own 20. So here are the Jaguars to take over on offense. They'd lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football.
318.
Rodgers now on first down. On target over the middle to Hill. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. Rodgers now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. The free safety, Trey Boston, there to knock it away.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Rodgers to throw once more. That's complete to Austin Eckler, the running back. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 44-yard line. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 44-yard line. Throwing now is Rodgers. Over the middle, it's complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Rodgers now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Complete. It's Henry. And down inside the 15 he goes. A Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. That's taken in by the tight end Perkins. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On second down now. It's Henry, and the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Escaping the... And he's got it! It's Thomas for a Jacksonville touchdown. Michael Thomas. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Adam Thielen, he gets set to go again with the rest of this offense. He'll try to generate some more steam on offense down to the scoreboard second quarter. Not necessarily his fault, but he's always a guy they want to get extra involved.
Keep finding ways for him to get the football. Keep force feeding him in that way. Get to the half. Kind of reboot, start over again to try and erase the other things that have them down on the scoreboard.
They'll be looking for a little more juice here in the second quarter before they do hit that halftime locker room. 31 yards there and a first down. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Michel. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Let's go defense. Let's go defense.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Derek Wolfe, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. You never want to give up a sack. And from the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Here's Trubisky to throw. And he's going to go down again.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Out of the gun, Trubisky. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. A great job there, Charles, just to hold on, absorb that contact. I guess that's the risk you take catching the ball toward the middle of the field.
It is, and if you're going to gain yardage, you're going to have to go there at some point. But how about the read, okay? The eyes of that play, stepping out from the middle of the field and really making a big hit. Did not get free, but boy, that's a tough area to go into when you're going into his spot.
They started on the ground with Eckler. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside and have to take us nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And it's a fumble. And the Texans say they have it. They do. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Now it's Trubisky. It's complete. Stills. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, and that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Traquan Smith with touchdown number 7 on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point.
Trubisky's pass complete to Traquan Smith. Touchdown, Houston. The kicker on for the point after.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. The extra point splits the uprights. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. through the air first. Maybe have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're march off another 15 against your squad.
On first down, Rodgers being chased out left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Henry Anderson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now it's Rodgers on the screen. This is Edmonds. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar and some discomfort down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Texans here on third down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. Yeah, Henry fighting for the marker, but I don't think he got there. He did not. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. And Rosas puts this one through. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. He's doing his job, but the bottom line, they're losing. They've got a deficit to make up here, and he knows it.
And quarterbacks who last in this league learn that lesson really early. You may have had a great stat line and felt pretty good about how you played, but if your team didn't win, it almost doesn't matter. And right now he's adopted that attitude. How do I get better? How does my team get better? How do we find a way to win the game?
He's hoping to lead his team to a successful drive. Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Throwing here, Trubisky. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Let's see what they draw up here. Third and long following the sack of Trubisky. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they will get to him behind the line, but the clock continues to tick down. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. The Texans send the punter out. He's been terrific so far. Taken in at the 22. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about 2/3 complete after this weekend, so lots to get to as we check out what's going on here in Week 11. We'll begin our tour out at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, and it's the Titans out in front in that one. A touchdown pass there for Ben Roethlisberger. From there, we head north to Minnesota. Check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting 49ers. The Vikings seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they were winners in that game over the visiting Detroit Lions. 24-8, the final score. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half?
The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's Rodgers. He'll have a first down past the 40. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. Touchdown, Jaguars. Joshua Perkins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
I think the key to that
ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the counter, it's Henry. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Now Rodgers steps away to his left. He's going to take off with it. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6. The Texans.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers, that's caught. It's Thomas. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Mike, 55. Check.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Give him 4 on the carry there. It's 2nd and goal.
It's easy work in this game.
2nd down and goal. Rodgers got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Chris Conley, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Mitchell Trubisky on his way out, the subject of our players' spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to it.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. They began with Michel on the ground. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. The safety, Patrick Chung, is the one who makes the stop.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
He's going to float this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Houston. Kenny Stills, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
He completes it to Henry. They'll wind up getting 10 back there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and 5.
55 my guy, 55. Man, I got you. Yeah, Liz.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers throws right side, and that's complete. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here. He's such a good route runner, shows it there on 3rd down, very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the 1st down.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that, because now it doesn't go on the books. But now they have to make that up again, don't they?
After the penalty, it's Henry. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
Back 55.
Brings up 2nd down. At the 42-yard line.
88. Mike 55.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Mike 55. Right there in the middle. 55. Let's go, D. Let's go. Mike 55. Hey, Mike. 55. Hey, eat.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
A 7-yard pickup. Single. at the 22-yard line.
Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michel. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
That's the way. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 35 on second down, Trubisky. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. They go play action with Trubisky. Going up top. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Here's Trubisky. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Bringing him down defensively, Jayon Brown. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Back now in Jacksonville. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4.
Mike 51.
On second down, here's Henry. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Box it. For the 50. Switch. Jump out. Scan 300. Back.
Again, it's Henry. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do?
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Alex Anzalone coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And there they bring pressure from the inside, and they get home.
Yeah, hard to block everyone, isn't it? And on this play, someone did not get blocked. He's the one who got home.
50. Right here, guys. Mike 51. Mike 51. Let's get the ball. Mike 51. Mike 51.
To try again after the sack. Rodgers. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
26.
First down,
High five.
Jaguars, 22-yard line.
Give them nothing to do. SOS. Look, we're doing it. We didn't do it.
They'll run on first down. Henry. And they'll get this down to the 10. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end.
51's the mic.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way.
On 2nd and 15 now. Rodgers. This is caught. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Trubisky. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets him 6. And he finds Stills, complete. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs to keep up.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and the Texans scoop it. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had... control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On second down, here's Fournette. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. The Texans on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 9. Open man is Higgins. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
They'll try to run it in, going option right. And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Jesse James, his 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys are back within a single score. And Pointer, they found a gap there on the post pattern in the middle of the end zone.
And ordinarily, that's a tough spot to find because there's usually coverage to take away that portion of the field. But they found a gap, and they exploited it.
So the drive there took 6 plays, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Take him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that a mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Rodgers to throw again. And caught by Henry. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now it's Henry. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. The Texans going to signal for their... They'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down.
Check. He's coming. We got double up.
To throw is Rodgers. He's got it complete to Perkins. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there, picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as they understand where they are in the field?
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll indeed take a knee.
Brings up 2nd and 11. At the 34-yard line.
Hey, check. 3 down.
Down to a knee for the Jags. Victory seemingly in hand.
It's a loss of a yard, bringing up 3rd and 12.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long.
Let's get that ball.
Rodgers will take a knee here, and that should be all she wrote. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here, when they're taking a knee, is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh of relief. Finally got a win, needed one desperately.
Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for the Jags, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Texans, add another loss to the pile as they drop to 2-8 now on the year. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.